So you are a streamer or content creator, or you know someone that is, and you are wondering what to get them or just for yourself this festive season. No need to worry, I made a list of 10 items you can buy this festive season, and the best part is they're all under $100. Be sure to stick around till the end, as there are a few bonus items that you might also want to consider when buying a gift for yourself or for someone else. Now, my name is Jackie, and today you can call me Santa. Now, before we get started, I'd just like to remind you that I stream on Twitch every Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday afternoon at 8 p.m. South African time, where we just chill and hang out and mainly talk about stuff like this. Link to that in the description below, as well as all of my other social channels will also be linked down there. Also, all the products I do mention today will also be linked down in the description below, so that you don't have to go out on Amazon and try and find all of them, or to your local store. They're all there in the description. Easy to find, down there. Now let's get into number one, and that is Acoustic Foam, Shock Mount, and Pop Filter. Now let's get all of these out of the way in one entire bundle, as these all make a huge difference to your sound quality, and they are fairly inexpensive. Now, just to quickly explain, when buying a pop filter, try and get one that is made out of metal and not that little silk, as they actually do prevent the plosive sounds much better if they're made from metal compared to that little silky material type thing. With a shock mount, it is very important to actually check the diameter, as not all mics are the same diameter or thickness, if you would like. So do make sure that if you buy a shock mount, that it can actually fit your mic and that your mic will not just fall through, as that will completely defeat the purpose of the shock mount. Now, I did leave links to two different sizes of shock mounts, one for a thicker mic and one for a thinner one. I know I have the blue ember, which is a thin mic, so I needed to look for a thin shock mount when I needed to buy one. Now, with acoustic foam, it is important to know that you should never have two adjacent walls. Now, the floor and the ceiling are also adjacent walls in this case. So if you don't have a carpet on the floor, you're gonna have to either get a carpet or you're gonna have to treat the ceiling with some sort of acoustic panel, as well as two facing walls. You're gonna have to treat those as well. Now, another important thing to note about these is acoustic foam panels are not soundproofing. They're only dampening the echo in a room, so it's not gonna soundproof your room. If you need soundproofing, you're gonna have to do a little bit more research, or you're gonna have to get professional help to do that. Number two is floodlights. Floodlights are a great way to add pops of color into your room. So all you need to do is get an RGB floodlight, point it against the wall behind you, and choose your color, and that'll actually just color the wall in a certain color for you. That will just add that little flare to your stream. Now, you can also use a floodlight to actually light up your face, but when doing that, try and add diffusion material either to the front or just have it bounce off of something that will just soften up the light so you don't have this harsh light hitting your face. Now, floodlights are pretty self-explanatory, as you just buy them, plug them in, and they work. But the only thing I will say is try and get RGB floodlights, even though you're gonna use it for your face. Because you might just upgrade your face light, and then you have that little extra light you can use to bounce a color off the wall or bounce a color somewhere in your room to actually just add a little bit of color to your stream. Number three is lights. Now, lights are by far the most important thing when it comes to content creation, as it helps increase the quality of your content, as well as it can set different moods if you use different styles of lighting. Now, on Amazon, I found a very inexpensive 3-piece light kit. So they actually come with tripods, umbrella diffusion, and lights, which is amazing to get 3 lights for under $100. And with that little setup, you can actually make a 3-point light system. Just to quickly explain, a 3-point light system will have your key light, which is going to be your main light, which will just be the brightest one. You'll have another one 45 degrees off from that, it will just be a fill light to actually just fill in the shadows on this side. And then you'll just have an edge lighting, which will be from the back onto your subject from behind, and we'll just try and trace you out so it actually pops you out from the background. On to number 4, and that is a ring light. Now, a ring light is a great way to light your face when streaming or making YouTube videos. And the reason I added it on this list is because I just absolutely love that ring it makes in your eyes. It just adds that little sense of liveliness to yourself when people are watching your video. and it's a great way to light your face evenly, as the diameter will make a nice little smooth lighting across your face. Number 5 is a Stream Deck. Now Stream Deck just makes everything you do on stream a whole lot easier and a whole lot faster. Now the Stream Deck also has a few great features, especially if you don't have a GoXLR. You can actually add a voice changer to your stream, which you do via the Stream Deck. It's a free app you just download. Now the Stream Deck also has a few other features, like making your transitions look a little bit more professional by adding different steps. So you can actually do transitions in steps with little macros in between that actually make the delay between transitions and between parts of a transition. So you can get this amazing looking transition, which is one smooth motion, but 3 or 4 different actions taken by the Stream Deck. Number 6 is a second monitor. Now when streaming, a second monitor isn't crucial. You don't need it to be able to stream, but having that second monitor will make the biggest difference compared to anything else. The second monitor just helps you add chat and your stats on the one side, so if somebody follows, if somebody raids, if somebody hosts you, you'll just be able to see what is going on in your stream, and you'll be able to check your chat just next to you instead of having to have some sort of app open or have it displayed on your gameplay, which could be distracting. So having that secondary monitor is amazing. Now a reason I added this to this list is that will actually help improve your interaction with your chat, because you'll be able to read the chat much easier. You'll be able to see follows, hosts, raids, subscriptions, gifted subs. All of those will be easy accessible to the one side on its separate monitor. And when it comes down to streaming, that is the most important thing, is just interacting with your chat. So being able to thank people for subs, being able to read chat and reply back to chat, and that is why it's on this list. Now number 7 is a webcam. If you don't have a webcam, or you don't have a good webcam, and when I say good webcam, I mean not a 1080p webcam, you might need to look at getting one for this little upcoming festive season. Now an amazing webcam is the Logitech C922X. It has 1080p 30 frames and 720p 60 frames, which is more than enough, because with a webcam size just in this little corner, 720p, people won't be able to tell the difference. Now the Logitech C922X is actually the webcam I used before I got the Canon, which I now use as my webcam on stream. It is an amazing webcam. It has good quality, it's easy to use, you just plug it in and it works. You don't have to download multiple things. It is one thing, you just plug it in, it's there, you add it into OBS as a source, and there you go. Another cam to consider is actually the Logitech Brio, as it has a little bit of a wider angle, and it also has a better sensor, which will give you a little bit of better quality, especially in low light conditions, which quite frankly streaming is, because you might not have the best quality lighting setup when you're just starting out. So consider the Brio if you have a little bit more money to spend. Number 8 is a mixer. So if you're still using your headset mic, or you're using a USB mic, it might be time to consider an upgrade and actually getting a mixer, so you can start getting all the components needed for a little XLR mic. Now an XLR mic, whether it is a condenser or dynamic mic, actually offer better sound quality and more functionality compared to a headset mic or a little USB mic. A good mixer to consider is the Behringer Q802 USB. It has a 3-band EQ, so you can change your highs, your lows, and your mids, and it also has compression, so that will actually be able to compress the highs and the lows. So if you're screaming or if you're talking softly, it will kind of compress it into the same range and have your quality just a little bit better. Now if you can get a few people to buy together, I would consider getting the GoXLR Mini. It is set at $250, so it's a little bit more expensive than the Behringer, but that is a mixer you're gonna have to buy once, and you'll never have to upgrade that mixer again. Number 9 is a good mic. Now if you have a mixer and you have one of those newer mics that cost around $20, it might be time to upgrade that. Now a good quality condenser mic is the Blue Ember. That is actually the one I use on my stream, and I've made a few YouTube videos with that as well. It offers great sound, great customization, and it feels solid as well as it looks good. A good looking mic is I think something that's overlooked so much. Now with the Blue Ember, you'll never have to buy another mic again, as with the $100 ceiling, you won't even hear the difference between a Blue Ember and a Blue Spark, which is exactly double the price of the Blue Ember, just because while streaming your audio gets compressed so much that at the Blue Ember's price range you won't hear the difference when going up higher. Now if your room is a little bit more noisy, you might need to consider getting a dynamic mic, and a good quality dynamic mic is actually the Rode Pod mic. Now if you guys don't know whether or not to get a dynamic or a condenser mic, let me know down in the description below if you want me to make a video on a condenser versus a dynamic mic, and we'll just go through a test of why you need one and what the sound difference is between them. Number 10 is overlays. Now with so many hardware upgrades, and quite frankly that being the first thing we look at when looking at upgrades, I thought it would be nice to add this as a little extra thing for number 10, and that is just upgrading your overlays, your intro video, your sub badges, anything art related to your channel. That is number 10. Now with number 10 you can do anything from buy an intro video for a YouTube channel, buying an exit video for Twitch or Instagram or Twitter clips that you make that can just kind of end your video off. Another thing to do is sub badges, emotes, just getting a general kind of feel for your entire Twitch channel as well, just brandifying everything, getting one consistent look over across all of your channels. Now number 11 is the bonus list. Now as promised, this is a list of things that you can actually buy for someone or yourself this festive season, and it includes peripherals like a mouse, a keyboard, a capture card, a gaming chair, or a wireless headset. Now with a wireless headset, just a little warning, if you plan on getting a GoXLR or GoXLR Mini, or you have one, not all wireless headsets work with the GoXLR or GoXLR Mini. You're gonna need some sort of interface with your wireless headset, and I know of two that actually work. That is the Arctis 7 wireless and the Arctis Pro wireless. Now both those headsets actually have a little DAC thing that comes with it, so it has an interface where you can actually add auxiliary inputs that you can take sound from somewhere, plug it into the wireless receiver, and then transmit that sound wirelessly to the headset. Now why these are actually added as a bonus is because most of these items you can actually find for under $100, but most of them do tend to go above that price range. So they are a little bit more expensive. They do actually offer a little bit more of a preference as well, so people don't tend to buy gaming mouses based on what is the best, but usually on what is the best feeling for you. That also includes the gaming chair as well. If you don't sit comfortably in that chair, whether or not it's the cheapest or the most expensive, they're not going to use it. Another thing also with the wireless headset as well, it is mainly a thing that you will use if it's comfortable. So with streaming 4, 5, 6 hours, you're going to have to get a comfortable headset. And you can't just buy a headset for someone because it might not be comfortable for them. Whether it is comfortable for you or not, they might just feel differently about it. And that is it for today's video. Please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Also hit that little bell notification to get notified when I post my next video. Now another reminder, I stream on Twitch every Sunday, Monday and Wednesday afternoon. Link to that down in the description below. Please feel free to come and join me and hang out. Until next time. Happy holidays.